me and my girlfriend, with my brother, had moved into a new house exactly a month ago. At the beginning, it was all great, but we both had that feeling about this place. Since a month, something has been happening here, and we feel like this thing is getting more confident with us. So this is what's happening to us over time. On our second night in the house, we had been about to go to sleep, both in our bedroom. We had heard a footstep on the staircase. I have peeked outside the room to make sure we're safe. We both could hear loud and clear footsteps. I asked my brother the next day if he was going downstairs last night. He said he wasn't, but he heard me going out to check, but didn't hear any footsteps. Around a week after during cooking, I have heard doors closing in the room next to the kitchen. I went there to check. There was no one in the room either corridor. My girlfriend was at work at the time and my brother was in the gym. When I found later, my brother had also heard doors during the night, especially coming from downstairs. Since around 2 weeks, we can feel like we're being watched, especially when passing the corridors with doors, which have been closing itself, and in the kitchen. It's very strange, and very quiet. Being there felt like being in a bubble. You can almost hear your thoughts. Around last Monday when I was going to sleep, I was almost falling asleep when I felt something. Firm touch on my left arm when laying down on my back. My girlfriend was sleeping that time and laying on my right side, so it couldn't be her. Then I heard a silent knock outside my room. I was totally terrified and decided not to open my eyes to not see the thing. Then it got worse. My girlfriend wakes up shocked, saying she felt a touch on her right foot and immediately got up. The touch was followed by a knock on the staircase. Very quick but noticeable knocks. I thought it may be sleeping paralysis or something, but after conversation, we decided it couldn't be since we both experienced it in the past. Yesterday, I have caught something on camera. I was in the toilet around 3 a.m. and something knocked on the toilet doors. I have asked who started it and started recording. On the recording, there's another knock and I'm opening a door. There's nothing, just dark corridor. If this sub allows me to post videos, I'll share it so maybe someone can figure out what this thing is. So far, we have not noticed anything moving and stuff. It's all noises, knocks, footsteps, and doors. We are all terrified as this is getting worse every week. I don't know what to do. When I was in college, I got super depressed and stressed out my junior year. I was always super into school and just started slipping near the end of my college term, so it threw me off bad. Never experienced failing at subjects before and it threw me into ridiculous stress. I graduated and figured everything would go away after that, but I found myself still feeling very mentally foggy. My sister knew how bad I was from the last years of school, so she hatched a plan to surprise me. I always wanted to go to Miami growing up. I know how lame that sounds, but being a girl who grew up in the Midwest and even went to college there, it always felt super exciting to me. Up to this point, I traveled but never went anywhere as lively or as big as Miami. My sister planned a 5-night vacation with me to get out of this mental fog and also to celebrate in our own way of me graduating. I was super excited. A few months passed, it was time for the trip. We get there, and the first few nights were incredible. We hit up the restaurants I had on my little list of places to try and spend many hours by the ocean. I was never a big party girl. Up to this point, I was drunk, maybe twice. My sister was the opposite, who was at every party that happened in our hometown. She got bored of going back to the room so early every night and convinced me to go to a nightclub with her for the first time. I fought it for a bit, but let my guard down because I was feeling really great for the first time in a long time. I was ready to try new things. It was a Saturday night, downtown, in the middle of summer. We get to this nightclub, and the line is legit wrapped around the building. It was massive. We waited in line for what felt like forever, and was finally let in. I walked in the door and felt like I got shot because of the loudness. my sister dragged me into the bar and ordered some shots of some drinks with a funny name. Again, I decided to just let my guard down and try new things. As more shots were down, I decided it would be the theme of my night, trying new stuff out. I was aware how bored I was, and in my opinion, in the most exciting place in the world. Around 45 minutes into dancing and drinking, I became very drunk, borderline blackout. I was sloppy drunk and was aware of it. I found myself lying on a couch thing in the upstairs area, overlooking the dance floor as my sister was dancing with some guys. As I say, they were trying to continuously sober myself up. I realized how badly I had to pee, so I brought myself to a sitting position on the couch to stand up and walk to the nearby bathroom. As I sat up, a massive man quickly sat close to me. I could feel his leather pants pressed on my leg. He was huge, absolutely over 6 feet tall. I looked like some sort of bodybuilder. Admittedly, he was very good looking, but I was so drunk I wasn't even trying to flirt, just trying to get up and find the bathroom. He smiled at me and yelled over the music something like, "Leaving so soon?" I remember nervously laughing and attempted to get up, but he grabbed onto my dress and pulled me back down to a sitting position next to him. His smile went away and said in a deep tone, "I don't remember telling you that you were allowed to leave." Even though I was very drunk leading up to this, I felt like I sobered up within seconds. I never felt anything like this before, but I wasn't going to allow this guy, no matter how much bigger he is than me, to do that to me. I attempted to stand up again. He did the exact same thing, but much more aggressive. I thought it was insanely rude, but I wasn't afraid because of how many people were around me. He tapped my heels with his big yellow leather boots and said I couldn't help but notice I wanted to destroy your feet. My fight or flight kicked in. I slapped him in the face and stood up to walk away. I was very uncomfortable, but I wasn't afraid because just the amount of people around. I was walking away and heard him laughing, and he yelled at me, "I'm trying to decide if I want to keep your feet after I cut the rest of your sexy body up into little pieces." I still hear it in my mind play out as clear as day. I walked away very quickly as I attempted to search for my sister on the dance floor from above. I couldn't find her, so I decided to take my phone out to text her just to see if I missed a call from her. I was out of eyesight from this dude and cut away into the bathroom so I could call her back. It was still pretty loud in there, but it wasn't enough so she couldn't hear me on the phone. I went into a stall and called her back. As I was in the stall, I heard the bathroom door open, and someone went into the one directly next to mine. I was waiting for her to pick up when I looked underneath the stall and saw the same guy's very distinct yellow leather boots. He was just standing in there. I felt like I was about to die. I know he knew I was in there. I held my breath and hung up the phone, just staring at his shoes, not moving a single bit from when he shut the door. I heard the main bathroom door open again, and I immediately ran out of the stall, out the door and straight outside to the clubs without slowing down once. I was terrified. Just so happens my sister was close to where I came out when trying to call me if I was ready to leave. I told her we needed to get back as soon as possible. We got back to the room safely, and I told her everything that happened. She suggested calling the police, but I was ready to just drop it. We changed our flight, and the next day we flew back home. I searched for a few years pretty actively online for arrests in the area to see if he would ever come up. He never did. After a few years, I moved on mentally and got over it for the most part. It's hands down the most scariest moment in my life. I don't know who this guy was, and if he was trying to scare me or something, if he was serious, but I hope I never see him again.